You've probably heard that statistic, right? That 90% of traders fail. But what if that's not a bug? What if it's a feature? What if the entire system is basically an architecture of mass delusion, designed from the ground up to turn you, the retail trader, into the product? Well, today, we are pulling back the curtain on the brutal reality of the modern market.
First things first, let's just get straight to the cold hard numbers. A massive 27-year study looking at millions of traders found this shockingly persistent failure rate. It doesn't matter what year it is, doesn't matter what the market's doing, between 74 and 89% of retail traders lose money. This isn't just a bad week or a bad year, it's the baseline. It's true during bull runs, through crashes, and for every shiny new trading app that comes out. And this right here gets to the absolute heart of the deception. You see, the system isn't just hard, it's a predatory structure. As this quote just nails, you're not a participant in the market anymore. You are the fuel. Your trades, your hopes, your FOMO, it all provides the liquidity for a giant machine that is literally designed to systematically exploit predictable human behavior. So here's our game plan for taking this whole machine apart. We're going to start with the big marketing myth of democratic finance. Then we'll turn the mirror on ourselves and see why your own brain is biologically wired to fail at this. We'll dig into the hard data that proves the 90% failure rate is a filter, not a fluke. From there, we'll look at the cultural fallout, this thing called financial nihilism. Then, we'll get into the terrifying new world of AI-powered predation. And finally, we'll ask the big question, what does it actually take to survive?
All right, first up, the democratic finance deception. This is that powerful, really seductive story that has lured millions of people into the arena, all with the promise that the game is finally fair for the little guy.
I mean, the sales pitch is brilliant. You have to admit it. Technology, these sleek fintech apps, zero-commission trades, it's all supposed to have leveled the playing field. They package it up as this noble mission for financial equity, a way for you to finally get your slice of the Wall Street pie. But here's the catch. Being given a key to the casino is not the same thing as being given a map to win.
And this is where the promise just completely collides with reality. Instead of all that empowerment and social mobility they talked about, academic research actually shows this democratization has fueled the exact opposite. Overconsumption, deeper debt, and a huge tidal wave of purely speculative, really precarious investment decisions. The dream, it turns out, is failing the data check. Hard.
So if the system itself is one part of the trap, the other part, well, it's a lot closer to home. Let's move on to our second section, because this is where it gets personal. Your brain is the enemy. We're talking about a fundamental, biological hardware failure. Okay, here's the thing you absolutely have to understand. The operating system in your skull is ancient. It was perfected over millennia to deal with immediate life-or-death threats on the savannah. You know, that fight-or-flight response. That hardware is a catastrophic mismatch for modern markets, which demand cool, detached, statistical thinking. It's kind of like trying to run quantum physics calculations on a stone tablet. It's just not going to work.
And this right here, this is the perfect illustration of how that ancient hardware just self-destructs. It's the FOMO cycle, and I guarantee it's wiped out more accounts than any market crash. You see a stock going to the moon without you, and boom, an emotional hurricane of regret and anxiety hits. You throw all logic out the window and buy at the top. The price, of course, inevitably reverses, and your stomach just drops. But the final killer blow? You compound the mistake, either by holding on with false hope or by revenge trading to try and win it all back.
And look, this isn't just you being undisciplined. These are literal, well-documented bugs in our human software. You've got the Dunning-Kruger effect, which makes you feel like a trading genius after one lucky win. Then there's confirmation bias, which sends you frantically searching for that one article that says your losing trade is still a brilliant idea. And then there's loss aversion, where the pain of taking a loss is so intense that you'll do irrational things like holding a stock all the way to zero just to avoid feeling it.
Okay, so we've talked about the psychology inside your head. Now let's zoom out and look at the battlefield itself. Section 3, the 90% failure filter. Because this brutal number isn't an accident. It's the market's core function.
And hey, don't take my word for it. Just look at the data that brokers and academic studies are forced to publish. 67% of accounts losing money on eToro, 81% on IG. An absolutely incredible 97% of active day traders in a Brazilian study failed to even beat the minimum wage. The numbers are just relentless. The house almost always wins. And this chart, wow, this just puts that huge 27-year study we opened with right in your face. Just look at that gap, 89% failure. And that tiny little sliver on the right, just 11%,
That's survival. This is not a game of chance. This is a statistical meat grinder.
And that brings us to this really profound insight from some anonymous trader on Reddit. The failure rate isn't a prophecy, it's a filter. The market is a system that exists to methodically find and eject anyone who is driven by emotion, by indiscipline, and by a lack of risk management. The 90% aren't just unlucky, they are being filtered out of the system.
So what happens when an entire generation grows up watching this filter just chew people up and spit them out? Well, you get a powerful and honestly a pretty predictable cultural backlash. Let's explore that in Section 4, the rise of financial nihilism. And this isn't a mood, it's the cold logic of desperation. Because this is the central question that's running through the minds of millions of millennials and Gen Z. They look at the traditional economic path, work hard, save for 40 years, buy a house, and the math just doesn't add up anymore. Stagnant wages, housing prices through the roof, that game feels rigged. So why would you play by its rules?
And that, my friends, is financial nihilism in a nutshell. It's not about giving up. It is the calculated, almost rational belief that when the traditional ladder to a stable life is gone, taking a lottery ticket shot on a meme stock isn't irrational. It's one of the only escape hatches left that they can see.
So you have to understand, a YOLO trade into some Dogecoin isn't just about greed. It's a protest. It's a vote of no confidence in a system that they feel no longer offers them a viable path forward. Like one analyst put it, if you want to stop the gambling, you have to offer people a game that's actually winnable.
All right, now just when you thought this whole environment couldn't get any more hostile, a terrifying new layer gets added to the machine. Section 5, AI-powered predation. Welcome to the industrial-scale scams of the synthetic era.
The really scary thing here is how AI isn't just creating more scams, it's precision engineering them to exploit our specific human weaknesses at a massive scale. You've got deepfakes of celebrities that prey on our authority bias. You've got AI bots promising secret market knowledge to exploit our desire for an edge. And you have AI-generated profiles creating entire armies of fake friends for those devastating pig-butchering scams.
And here's how a typical scam like this plays out. It starts with a hyper-realistic deepfake video of someone you trust. They lure you to a slick-looking platform where a demo account shows you these impossible guaranteed profits, which just wires your brain for trust. The moment you deposit real money to chase those fake returns, the trap springs. Suddenly, withdrawals are blocked by fake tax demands, until one day the entire website and all your money just vanishes forever.
So, given this whole ecosystem of psychological traps, systemic filters, and now AI predators, what on earth does it actually take to survive? Well, our final section offers the uncomfortable truth, the robotic discipline reality.
At the end of the day, this is the final choice. Every single trader has to make it. You can either run on your default human hardware, which is a chaotic mess of fear, greed, FOMO, and hope, or you can consciously decide to overwrite that programming with machine-like discipline. That means thinking in probabilities, not in predictions. It means having religious-like adherence to risk rules. It means focusing on your process, not the outcome of one trade. It means becoming emotionally neutral.
And that's really what it all boils down to. We've seen that the modern market is a technologically advanced predator, engineered to hunt human emotion and indiscipline. The overwhelming evidence shows our natural instincts are a direct path to failure. So the question I'll leave you with is this. If the market is a predator, can you become enough of a machine to survive it?